Love it. But I say a team building to go to iFly, everybody down.
Oh, God, that's the iFly.
Have you done that? Yeah, I did it. I did it. I did it yesterday and I went up high.
It's fun.
I went on the too.
We did it for my daughter's, I think, 10th birthday.
So, you know, I didn't go all the way up, but just where the words were, right? I was giggling the whole
Yeah.
I need a giggle for sure, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order at 6:50.
That's Martha.
Sorry, she's here. She's
Oh,
here.
okay.
I don't want to leave her. Lisa Gonzalez, present.
Suzanne Radzik.
Lori Lindsay present.
Kelly Hunt, Vanderbilt present.
Julie Tucker.
Tiana Clark, present.
Ryan Shoppel here, present.
Mary's Tucker, present. Okay, the approval of minutes. Did you guys have a chance to look at them from today? Jessica sent them out kind of late, or we could just table till next month?
I don't know.
We could table till next month.
Yeah.
Financial opinion.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hi.
2 seconds to bring this up, but I can ad lib in the meantime. So we have finished our 10th month of what will be the most fiscally successful year in the 12-year history of Discovery. And our cash position remains extremely strong. We had a couple significant transactions in April. A very generous $100,000 donation from PAC, which was spent immediately. Half of the barn renewal project, $69,250 to create a new asset. That did not go on the P&L. However, the PAC receipt did. And caused us to have an extremely good month of April, a positive $83,996. We also got ratcheted up of our basic grant due to the fact that our February count was higher than our September count for the first time ever, in a long time anyway. So anyway, again, we're going to finish the year very strong. Our 10-month results, the 10 months ended April 30th, 2022, a positive $516,000, mostly because of the PPP. Okay, PPP loan 507,000 is really, as we budgeted, as we went at this stage of our budgeting process last year, we figured to have a budget surplus about equal to the PPP loan. So that made it a good year. We have other budget concerns we'll get to in a minute, but I expect our year to be somewhat less than $500,000. We have a significant amount of paid bonuses coming scheduled for the next 3 pay periods as we enter the end of the fiscal year. We are going to be over our budget, and with that, I'll get to the budget process. If there's not any questions on the financials through 10 months, I'll get to the budget. Let me look at the budget list. I can do that. Excuse me a minute, so I can be specific in my commentary. So just to set the stage, our budget process is, in fact, 2 budgets in one. That being a cash in, cash out budget, or grants and income that we know, and our expenditures that we plan. And then there is a full accrual adjustment at the end of the budget, which I'll go over in a minute. And that is what, that includes depreciation and amortization, and it is adjusted for the mortgage principal that we pay on our debt to Indiana. And so, I'm going to access this right now. Okay, so with reference to the revenue section of the budget, you can see our budget this year about $5 million. Last year it was about considerably more than that because of the PPP loan, which we had budgeted, which we had received and hadn't taken into income yet. So our budget going into our next fiscal year is about $5 million. There's a lot of detail between the beginning and the end. And incidentally, this is based on an ADM of 524. 524 we base this budget on. And 524, transversing through all the detail in the middle, yields a cash surplus of about $169,000, excess of revenue over expenses, but adjusted for full accrual accounting, it's basically break even. We're showing a net profit of $2,157. That's what we'll ask the board to approve. We had to stretch a bit to get that, to get a break-even result essentially. But we think we're being very conservative in view of our scheduled enrollment.
Why did you guys say 524?
Well, we have to do that because that's what we submitted to the state.
So that's what our payments will be based on
Until
for the
they're
first
adjusted.
6 months. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's adjusted every time.
Yeah, September, there's counts in mid-September, mid-February.
So this was the count that just happened in February, based on that count?
Yes,
So the February count gets adjusted for May and June. It gets reset to account for whatever the February count was. So each spring they ask for the estimate from the school so they know what to set the payments to be out beginning July 1. Historically, we always keep it a conservative because it's better to get more money than to have to retroactively take less money in those last 2 months.
Got it.
So we set the estimate at 524, but based on our numbers now, we're potentially looking as high as 570 for the fall. So one of the things we did, as Alan said, to stretch it. There's always been a line item in the budget for PAC contributions. And so I had spoken to Kelly about increasing that just to make it a balanced budget. Not that there's an increased expectation from PAC, it's just a cosmetic line item. We discussed just pulling from the cash reserves, but then that wouldn't solve the problem because that would be
no,
income.
that's just a transfer.
So we need additional income to cover the amortization and depreciation. So once the fall count is in, then we will adjust the budget, reduce the PAC contribution line item so it's reflected more accurate.
We do alter the budget after the September count, and that's what it really becomes reality. And this year it's really going in the right direction in a big way. So we keep our fingers crossed on that. This is a very conservative budget in that regard. This chances are pretty good we'll exceed 524. Yeah? So,
Yes.
So anyway, that's it. That's it for the budget. I have the AP I'll circulate if there are no questions there.
I just have a basic question. What was TDM? What does that stand for?
I'm sorry.
I think you said ADM?
ADM is average daily
Membership.
membership.
Okay, never said.
And that's a hit.
Okay. And it's two
That's
counts.
our,
That's
by the
not gonna
way,
get my state, Mr.
our per student, our per student stipend for ADM this year is $6,339. You see that on the budget. That's what we get per student. That's why it's everything. Our revenue model is based on students, student count. And that all bodes well for our futures, which we've talked about at Finance Committee, which suggests a possible refinance of our extremely expensive bond debt when we're permitted to do so, which is 10 years after its origin, December of 15, so December of 25, we have a potential refinancing on the horizon, which, in my opinion, as I stated often, we have to be positive for anybody to consider lending us money at less than 7.25%. Who knows what interest rate's going to be? But anyway, with with an increasing student count like that, it takes a lot of pressure off our debt.
Well, so so this 532, this 585, this 585 is where we wanted to be
575 was our.
in 25, right? 2025 was, so there,
That's correct.
that's why like this goal right here, we want to get students up to, you're saying 575, but,
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think we even worked some numbers where
I remember that from, we talked about that at
Okay.
the last
Okay,
meeting.
good.
Yeah.
The goal to be at,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. There's no requirement that we refinance, just to make sure everybody's, we don't have to do anything. But at January 2026, our debt service goes from an interest only on 7.5 million almost, or 7.25% to amortizing over 20 years. So it goes from 39,000 a month to 62,000 a month. We don't have to do anything, but it'd be nice to retire some of the 7.25 debt. And think how happy those bondholders are, tax-free. So, so that's that. So that, yeah, so, we're certainly going in the right direction. Our fiscal trend is up as we head into a very, important, financial milestone. At 10 years, we'll have paid off our Indiana, note, which is a 1% fully amortizing 10-year note. That'll be gone, we'll be left with the 6.47 million, which if we don't do anything, that'll be gone in 20 years, 2045. There you go. Who knows? So that's that. But it'll be important, and we're headed in the right direction to show positive results. We're not for profit, but still, banks look at positive results when they're considering lending money. They don't understand not for profit. They don't understand expenses in excess of revenues, put it that way. So that'll be important. We'll watch that pretty closely. We slipped last year. From our COVID hit, we went to minus 38,000 last year, for the first time in a year or two. So we'll keep a close eye on that. That would be a must. We won't have any years like we had this year, that's for sure. That was a result of federal programs. Extraordinaries, non-repetitive federal programs. But anyway, but we're in great shape. As we
Well, it
finish
should
this
be
year.
all the time, but school is fun.
Oh, yeah.
How do you disagree with that?
That was, listen,
Moving on.
a windfall for a lot of people.
I'll motion to approve the financials. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll motion to accept the budget.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Budget is accepted. Any public comments? All right, COVID policy.
No updates or changes. The local health department had started sending out some updates with new cases because they had seen an increase in cases. But it looks like with today's update, Sunday went down, so we'll see. We've had a couple here and there. They've come, they've went back to zero, and there's one that we have. I need updates on. But otherwise, things have been still going well, so.
Bar mitigation.
We are waiting for the state to release the design, and then once that happens, then we can get the local permits from Mr. Berry. So right now, we're just kind of in a waiting game. It just all kind of depends on the state of these things, on how quick we turn around and get. They did finish, the landscapers did finish the swale in the back of the barn. So that was kind of an overgrown area between the fenced-in area where the beehives are and the barn. And because of the grade, some water was still making its way into the barn via the ground, because some of the ground was above the concrete line. So they were able to dig that out and then connect it to that natural ditch that's right there. And so that's done. So they added a bunch of rock to help keep the shape and keep erosion from occurring. So that's where I with the barn.
And then budget we talked about.
Budget.
Insurance renewal.
Yeah, so we got the insurance renewal package from James. It's one of the documents that is in the folder. So we have two plans that we offer our employees. The first plan, there's 18 participants. And on that plan, there's a negative 2.53% decrease in rates. The second plan, we have 11 employees on, and there's a 3.26% increase. So all in all, it's all pretty standard, not much change outside of some of the deductibles, but we see that every year. He always provides us some additional alternative options, but none of those are really better than what he proposed. So unless the board had any questions about those offerings, it would be our recommendation that we go with the proposed plans that James provided us. So open enrollment then would be here in the next coming weeks, and it would take effect for July 1. The way it kind of works for us as a school, because obviously some employees don't start until August, like new employees. So for those current employees, we have open enrollment in June. Their insurance restarts in July. But then any new employees, we do have a set open enrollment time for them in the fall as well. And typically their insurance would start September 1st. So, unless there's any questions, I'd recommend we make those proposed plan renewals and changes.
I'll make a motion to accept the insurance renewal.
I'll second.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion accepted. Budget be approved. So the superintendent evaluation bonus. So I will move to approve, or motion to approve the full bonus. And then also the thank you bonus and the stipend for the monthly phone bill, or monthly phone stipend.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. School report?
School report. So fall 2021 enrollment was 512 ADM. Our February count was 522. As of 5/6, we were at 532 students. Below that, as I started including the last couple months, is our current intent to return numbers. So again, as a recap, this is based on the intent to return forms we've received. And then we also account for the new kindergarten class, as well as new offers that have been made to students in grades outside of kindergarten for next fall. So currently, it says 563, but when I checked before I came, it was currently at 570. For next year. And so again, of course, there's always change over the summer, but we are on track for likely our highest
And we
fall
have waiting
enrollments.
lists for almost everything.
Because this is such a big jump, I'm just curious, do we track when these new students come in, when the parents sign them up, are we tracking like when, where they heard about stuff, why they signed them up, so we know what it is we're doing right to get this big jump, and we can like keep doing?
Yeah, so there's a survey that we ask families to complete on tours, and so that feedback comes right back to us.
And then do we like do something with it? Like, are we reviewing it or doing something with the feedback and factoring it back into our marketing and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it generally comes up in discussion,
Okay.
in terms of trends and things that we're seeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We talk about it in
To the marketing, committee.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of traffic this year.
Yeah.
Even beyond now, I mean, throughout the year, you've had a bigger push on tours, and of course, bigger pushes on marketing. So 585 would be every class maxed out.
I mean, our proposed enrollment, is it spread evenly, the increase over grades? I mean, kindergarten first.
So the way we make offers is based on, so for example, if you look at first grade, there's 69 total spots. We know that 61 are returning, so that gives her 8 spots that she can make offers to. So it is balanced based on what we anticipate being available, not just random.
But also, Ellen, the big change that we've been feeling this year is the middle school. Like, there's been a waiting list for much of the middle school all year, really.
Wow, great.
Toilets will be scheduled for June once school's out. The parking lot, we're getting some quotes on some of the repair options for the front lot drive. Years ago, when we did the expansion, of course, we did that parking lot expansion portion. We redid the staff part, several years ago, but we didn't really do anything to the existing front drive or original parking lot. So we're gonna get some quotes to see what our options are there. We sent out information on our preventative maintenance HVAC service. Circle R will continue on to provide that quarterly maintenance service for the upcoming year. A Plus is working on the barn permits. Swale behind the barn has been completed. You may have noticed some of the upturned ground outside. So 3 weeks ago, NIPSCO just kind of, so after the landscaper started, Bloodhound, is that the other ground service?
Yes.
Besides
The marking one.
the Hawk or whatever it is. They just showed up and were like, why, we didn't ask you to come. NIPSCO had to do some upgrades, and they're doing them all around apparently.
Yeah.
On some of their underground wiring. So they did, that's what all the markings are outside. And they're like, oh, we wanna start, we'll just be here whenever we're here. And we're like, well, you can't just kind of show up to a school because it's from the pole that's right there by the playground. And then to that green box that's by the middle school door, and then the box that's by the lift station over here by the car trail head. And so I had to like kind of explain it to him why he couldn't just, show up.
Right in the middle of the car
So,
line.
yeah, so I was like, well, we're out of school May 27th, so after that, you're fine. But then after some more conversations on his end, they are working on the weekends, so they came out the last 2 Saturdays. And so now there is that new box that's out there by the pole. And then they will send a landscaper to follow up to address kind of the upturned ground. So Mr. Lee spoke to them this week, and they'll be coming out more than likely after school's out at this point to kind of get all that back in place. So it took them 2 Saturdays. We gave staff a thank you bonus at the end of Teacher Appreciation Week. It ranged from $1,500 from our certified salary staff down to $250 to some of the hourly employees. In addition, I think Pam already shared this, but we got them jackets, Yeti water bottles, dinner gift cards, umbrellas. Something else I'm missing. So we made a point to kind of make sure our staff felt appreciated, as did PAC, and so thank you for PAC for kind of teaming up with that and showing our staff the love that they truly deserve. Our educator evaluation plan was approved. We submitted in September maybe. We just were notified that it was approved. So just to give you an idea of some of the processes that we work with at the state level at this point in the year. Yeah.
Good thing.
We were notified that we received an additional $25,000 of one-time ARP money, specifically aimed at supporting special education. So we've added that to the budget next year, just to go towards.
Is
some
your
of the hours
educator
there.
plan different, a lot different? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we
It's
haven't
just-
modified it. So for the most part, we follow the RISE rubric, which
Right,
is the
okay.
state one.
Okay.
The modifications we made to it are for teachers who've been here for several years. Instead of getting the full 3 shorts and 2 long observations, they may only get 1 short, 1 long, just because they have a proven track record. So those are the only modifications we've made. But by having that submitted, that's what qualifies us for that teacher appreciation grant we get in December every year. And so, but again, we've already gotten the grant, they just now approved it, so. The state has been collecting ESSER data from schools. The first one was super easy. The one I just submitted was multiple pages of columns of data, and the dates don't even match up with the dates they sent us originally, and I don't even, but my understanding is they're compiling this data with all the other schools in the state so they can submit it to the federal government
Oh, man.
to show how the state spent the ESSER money. They didn't say that they would send it back if it was incomplete, but I have not received it back, so fingers crossed. Registration, as I shared last time, we moved up to July 11th. Still working with Lewis and Capps on Title IX policy. She's waiting on a template that someone in the Lewis Capps firm has worked on. And then we will look at the two and kind of make a final copy, so that way it's one that they're familiar with as well. Recognition, Mrs. Pavlovic is retiring, our school naturalist. She's been with us since the first year, and before that, she's worked many years in Duneland as a high ability instructor. So we wish her happy retirement. Paxton Martinez, 8th grade student, was chosen as this year's recipient of the Youth Citizenship Award from the Duneland Exchange Club. He and his family, as well as Miss Weller and Miss Allison, will attend the banquet, which is Thursday morning, to celebrate him. And then it's at St. Pat's. So all the Duneland winners, the St. Pat winners, they all attend this banquet.
What is the banquet, the Duneland?
The Duneland Exchange Club.
Exchange. That's
Yeah.
St. Pat's. Okay.
It's at St. Pat's though, yeah. Mrs. Hanson, our teacher, received second place prize in the Earth Day Decorated Rain Barrel Contest at the annual Earth Day celebration at the Porter County Expo Center. 8th graders attended and shared their citizen science project, which was Hoosier River Watch. And we would also like to thank Mrs. Herr, our librarian. She branched out and found a new yearbook company this year, and it looks really, really good.
And it's eco-friendly.
And it's eco-friendly.
Oh, yay.
So, yeah. So it wasn't Life Touch this year who does our pictures and traditionally did the yearbooks. It was Tree Ring. Tree Ring. Yeah.
And your picture's in it.
Mine is?
Yeah.
Oh,
They have a picture of the board.
no. Okay. I was like, why?
Committee update, professional development. Teachers attended the Elementary Literacy Conference at Valparaiso University. It was for K through 3 staff. 5 teachers, a reading specialist, and Mrs. Weller attended. They were provided tools and information to make 6 shifts in order to seamlessly incorporate science and reading into their classroom instruction. There is a STEM project-based learning provided by PBL Works, which is a national organization that specializes in assisting schools with implementing PBL. It's expensive, but it's needed, and so we are going to write next year's Title IV grant to cover the cost of that. So that'll take place in August for the back-to-school period. Social studies, K through 2 is going to be adopting McGraw-Hill for the new social studies curriculum, and 3 through 8 is going to be adopting a Sabbath social studies curriculum. The High Ability Committee met to identify students who will receive services for the 2022-2023 school year. Reading and math specialists are in the process of reviewing end-of-year data from STAR assessments to determine yearly progress. Working alongside teachers and admin specialists will identify students and will begin the 2022-2023 school year to receive RTI services. Place-based and sustainability assisted with planning and preparing for the annual Earth Day celebration. Special events, we had the VIP day, we had the Family Nature Night, upcoming Field Day, the Middle School Beach Day. 8th grade will be going to Six Flags on Friday while the others have their Beach Day and Field Day. Dodgeball staffers 8th grade on the 25th. And then 8th grade graduation this Thursday at 6:30 at the Pavilion in Portage.
This Thursday.
This Thursday. Social emotional update, Miss Medley and her interns worked to raise $210 for the Parents' Night Out benefiting Dunebrook. Child Abuse Prevention Coloring Contest through the Department of Child Services received certificates in the art kit. So 1st grade, Banzi Patel, 3rd grade, Sean Soto, 4th grade, Zaria Hudson, and 5th grade, Kaylee Hector. May is Mental Health Awareness, and resources were shared in the newsletter and morning quotes. The discipline report from Mrs. Weller, 3 technology violations, 19 detentions, 0 in school, and 9 out of school suspensions. And then also with recent things, the 8th graders just got back from their DC trip last night. And so I would like to thank Mr. Frankowski and Mrs. Drew as the staff who went along and all staff before them who went along, because having attended myself, it's a lot.
It's gonna be a lot.
It was a lot. I mean, it was fun, but it was a lot.
It's a
So
lot.
kudos to
Anyone.
all of our staff who do all those things above and beyond like that to provide those experiences for our kids. Yeah. It was our first one back.
That's what I have.
Awesome. Jack?
All right, well, I guess our big news was Dow.
Lori, I'm working groups.
Oh, we did, yes.
Development.
Development. Sorry, my brain's a little bit. Still looking at tours. We're still looking at our marketing options. I did hear back from the European market, because one of the things we discussed was if we could set up a booth. It's a cash and carry. So if we're not selling something, and they said they wouldn't suggest popcorn because we would have to go through the health department. It's something we weren't sure if we would have to do. They did say if we wanted to volunteer to work the front table, we could, and we could also distribute Discovery stuff there. So that's something that we can discuss the next development phase.
Kids Day Out was fun yesterday.
Kids Day Out was yesterday.
Made felt play necklaces. Had a couple of people who were coming to the tour on Wednesday, so that's good. And it was fun. Jen Hubble looked pretty different, but it was fun.
Do we highlight, because I'm thinking, when a parent is thinking about bringing their children to the school, one of the things that's a really good sticking point is like when we're winning. Everyone wants to be on the winning team. And we have students and faculty who are winning outside of this school. Like you mentioned, the Indiana, what did you say? Duneland Exchange Club, Porter County Expo. Do we like evangelize all the winning that's going on here as we look at, recruitment efforts and things like that?
We do it on social media.
Yeah. And Jen's always quick to put some of those things in the Hawks highlights too, and depending on the timing, the school newsletter.
And that Chesterton.
Yeah,
there's a couple things.
I
tried to
Chesterton
post to all the big
Tribune, is that what it is?
Chesterton, Hobart, Michigan City, Portage.
Oh, that's good.
So yes, we definitely try to.
Yeah, like for Mrs. Hanson with that big rain barrel, that was just recently posted on, I think, a recycling website, and then that got reshared onto our social media and other couple different places. I saw like 2 or 3 places.
There was something with that though that was, like there was something in what it said that was inaccurate.
Oh,
So
really?
I don't know if it was shared to the actual Discovery page or not. Jen Hubble was checking in about it, and I know it was shared on Facebook page.
Is it on our website? So I know sometimes it'll be banned, like schools or, if you do just get something special, like there's banners that will flash, because original families could, like we've updated our website, we know families go there.
We've got the family friendly on there and green ribbon, so those are the big ones.
Like I don't know, just to flash that up that this just happened this spring, I don't know if that's the way too.
It's a balance between like making it too busy.
Right, no, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, and the billboards up in Michigan City, or it's reported.
Oh, Portage.
The billboards in Michigan City or?
Portage.
Oh.
Yeah. 4 week cycles.
Finance.
We met, Alan, Kiki, Ernesto, and I, and Hannah to review the budget. So we did that last week, and that was our
Great job.
home meeting. Well, it was all Alan and Kiki and staff. I'd like to hear about it.
And so the budget does include a 4% raise for salaried employees, certified salary, and then 3%. 3%? 3% for non-certified staff. So historically, the last few years, we've been 2%, 1% for salary.
Do they know this?
Not yet, because we were waiting for it to be.
It was very detailed budget, the spreadsheets I mean,
There's a lot of detail
Airtight.
in between the beginning and the end.
Yes.
That's for sure.
it's a lot,
And,
so it's very thorough,
It's
there
this
are
many
very,
pages when you
very
print it
few
out.
questions. And it's a spreadsheet they've been using for years,
Yeah, well
right?
documented.
Yeah, yeah.
Very with support for everything.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so we have a $5 million budget this year.
I love that when you put in teachers into. Policy, nothing.
Just what I updated already, still working with Katie on the title line. And then here, in the next month or so, we'll send the board, the student handbook and the staff handbook to give any feedback, on changes or things that, need to be adjusted. Because no matter how many eyes we put on it, there's always some minor mistake or extra comma or
You
something.
send it to the lawyer?
We do, yeah, I mean, it's all originated with her.
Oh.
So it's just things that have come up that we want to adjust.
I don't know if now's the time then, or we should wait till it comes out, but I would like to bring up staff being able to wear jeans again. I don't know, if we want to talk about it
Isn't
now.
that an operational incident?
We talked about it last year.
What do you think?
I think it's operational.
Yeah,
but
I would agree.
Yeah,
That's,
But it's in the handbook.
it's still operational.
yeah.
If it's in the handbook, then he can implement that if he wants.
Okay.
So I don't know if, I tried to make sure that everybody here is on my PEC emails, but we sent out, a little doubt by the numbers saying that, Lisa's husband had made up. And as it said on there, we reached a goal, exceeded it, and it was the most successful doubt so far.
Thank you.
Oh, 30,000, so.
Yeah, it's still coming in a little bit, because
It's hard to say still, but I think we're probably about 33 or 34.
Yeah.
I was just being
Yeah.
conservative, yeah, but there's still like a little bit of art, some shirts and some stuff like that, but, so, and I've heard nothing but, good things, like, a good time, so thanks for everybody that came out and contributed and all that. And then PAC also was busy, right after that was, staff and teacher appreciation, so we did something every single day for that. In the middle of that was VIP day, and we helped with that as well. So it's been busy, and then this week is also because, we'll be helping with graduation, and then we have field day. I don't know if anybody signed up for that, but if you're not and you'd like to, talk to Lisa. We have lots of volunteers that day, because, there's like 10 or 12 or more different stations, and the kids go around, get really messy. And then the next day after that, there's the 5K, so I think I talked about this all last time, but if you're interested in going to that, let me know, otherwise it's on the website, and, that will be at Coffee Creek on Saturday morning.
What day is field day?
Friday, this Friday.
This Friday.
And then at Field Day, we're providing a Luigi's Icy Cup to every kid, and, oops, I'm sorry. Yes. So, and at, the race, we're providing a free Kona Ice to every kid as well.
Nice.
So, that'll get you out of bed at 8 o'clock to go running. Kona Ice at 9:30. That's a little cool, but it's not hot either, so
Perfect
that's
for running.
good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What was P then?
VIP, so that is something that the school puts on for first and second grade families. It's once a year in the springtime, and so we provided refreshments.
It was great.
Yeah, it was really
It was a
cool.
lot of fun. Yeah.
It's nice for people to come in and see what the kids work on. I think that's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, and then Mr. Martinez is gonna get us a quote for our new set of Chromebooks. We're looking at replacing, the middle school needs new ones, so that might be something that PAC is gonna do before the end of the year. Or around.
Recognition.
Just what about Dow, all the teachers and staff that gave teacher time, it was really popular this year, like some of the highest numbers are from that, and it's really nice of them, and they don't have to do that, they're going out on Saturdays or whatever, I mean, you're doing, what, a golf, is that what you're doing?
Frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf and Mr. Lee's, I mean, a lot of people are doing it, and the kids love it, so I just think that's really a special
that's
thing
great.
that we do, so.
Uh,
Thanks to them.
I would do a recognition for Pat, of course, and you for all the people involved with Dow, so it's very nice.
Take the village.
Takes a village.
And so I'm bad with names, but my middle school parents, with the seventh grade, the dance,
Mhm.
it was awesome. It made me inspired to reach out to you guys to think about doing something maybe quarterly. And I help out. I'm just the, I was just running around trying to couldn't remember how to do the Cupid shuffle, which was really embarrassing. But I just really appreciate the parents taking that initiative to want to get the kids together. So I really, really super you. Because you always are here and always awesome. So,
The kids loved it
yeah,
too.
so it was really great.
Well, it's been so long too, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they were
That was-
really pumped.
And I really wanted the 8th graders to go out with one.
Yeah, I'm so glad they got
Yeah. And I think the 6th and 7th graders probably like it more.
that.
But thank you so much, you guys, I really appreciate it. It was good.
Yeah, I would like to thank all of our volunteers all year long because everything we do is only because we have amazing parents who volunteer and give so much of their time. Like our volunteer hours, you guys see on the snapshots every month, it's well over 100 hours and it's because of that we're able to have all the events we have. Right. And then June meeting, the 15th, good with everybody? Thank you.
Maybe defending my proposal that week, but I doubt it would be stuff. But I'll let you know as soon as.
It's in person.
Would you rather move it? Just in case?
Well, it's gonna be some point, the 6th or the 13th, I don't know yet. It's depending on coordinating with the 3 people.
It's gonna be in person.
Zoom is my understanding. Everything's on Zoom. He hasn't told me what I actually have to put together yet.
You got it.
Do you just want to bump it to the 22nd because it doesn't matter and then?
15th time. I can use 20th.
Alright. Meeting adjourned, 7:32. Do you guys want to do a little early?
COVID, there's no, right?
Right, you know where it is? Hard to get there.
Right time.
Hey guys, do you guys want to do a fix earlier or do you want to do it earlier?
That board of Jericho, yeah. A lot of people have a hard
Do you guys
time
want to do
finding it.
earlier?
I'm fine
Or do you
either
guys
way.
They were like,
Either way, it's fine.
skateboarding.
Can we do like 5:30?
The creek that's on the park.
Yeah, I live right by that. I live in the.
Wednesday.
So for me, it's.
Back to
But the
Wednesday.
streets going by isn't always the best, so.
I could do 5, I could do 5:30.
Kelly, do you want to do that?
what day it is, but I feel like